channel. I wanted to show you some things that I recently finished, which I'm really excited about. The first thing is this Louvre sweater by Petite Knit. I knit this up in about 4 weeks, I think, and it's done in Woolfolk Far, color 31. Here, I'll zoom in a little bit so I can show you. The color is really, really beautiful. It's like this soft blue, little bit of gray. I think it's like one of their most popular colors because I ran out of yarn and I was in a hurry to get it done. It's a gift for my sister, and I was calling everywhere trying to figure out where I can find it. I called 3 stores, they were all out of this color. I went to another store, I'm in the Bay Area, near San Francisco, and I went to a store up there, they were out. So I finally ordered it from Monarch Knitting. I don't know if you know that store in Pacific Grove near Monterey. Really, really love Monarch Knitting. They're so grateful. I mean, they're so gracious, and I'm so grateful that they were able to ship it to me really quickly. But I finished it just like the day after Christmas, and I haven't shipped it to my sister yet because I wanted to do this video. Yeah, but it turned out really nice. I did 3 inches of ribbing on the neck, and I think I did 2 inches of ribbing on the arms and the hem. Let me show you, stand up and show you. It goes almost, doesn't go past my butt, but it goes like to the hips. Her arms are much shorter than mine, so that's why I didn't quite go to my arm length. I would have gone down to like here, but I think this will fit her perfectly. I really like it. I really want to knit one for myself out of Woolfolk Far. It's just so cozy. It's really, really nice. It's a perfect raglan. So with this, I did make some modifications. Like I said, I knit the sleeves a little bit differently, a little bit shorter, not as long. I knit the neck just slightly bit shorter. Then she recommends 4 inches for the sleeves, the bottom hem, and the neck, all 4-inch ribbing or cuff. And so the other modification I did was I made the armholes a little bit bigger. I don't know if you can see this, but it's just slightly a bit bigger. She recommends to go to, I think you put, the armholes are like 72 stitches, and I added an extra 4. So that was 76. And actually, I think I went up to 78. Yeah, mine were 78 inches. And then you cast on 6 stitches for the underarm here. So then I was up at like 82 inches for each armhole. And because this yarn is so light, it's like very lofty, it has a really nice drape, the armholes ended up just to be fine. So there's like a little bit underneath, but they drape really nicely. I'm really happy that I had the extra stitches. So again, I ended up at 82 once I casted on the stitches at the bottom here to close up the hole. And I hate under armholes when you have that big gap. So I'll show you here. I have to find the video that I followed it from. Yes, mostly knitting. And what she recommends is that you divide the underarm cast on in half. So for example, I cast it on 6 stitches down here at the bottom. She says you start right in the middle. So 3 on one side, 3 on the other side. And then you pick up, you knit 2 together when you're going around for the first time, knit 2 together at both ends of those cast on stitches, and it helps to close up the gaps. So I'm going to show you what it looks like. I don't know if you could see this, but I hope that shows it okay. But she really helped me to like understand how to close up those gaps. The other thing I finished, this was just before like last week of 2023, was my Moonset Tee by Ozetta. I knit this in Color Mart blend of cashmere silk, and it is so silky, it's softy, it's soft, it's slinky, it's really luscious, it's beautiful. I think I showed you this before last year. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. The only thing is, I think if I was going to redo this again, I probably would go down a needle size. I think I knit this on 3s. I would probably go down to a 2. I did have to go down a needle size when I did the band, the neck band. I went down a needle size. So that. And the other thing is, I really, after finishing the bottom hem, I did the I-cord bind off. I decided I didn't want to do the I-cord bind off for the sleeves. I did not like the way it ended up. It kind of flips up a little bit. I think it's just too silky. Before I set this whole project aside, I did a bind off, a hemmed bind off for this sleeve. I'm going to show you here. I have some ends to weave in still, but it turned out okay. I'm not super happy with it, but it turned out okay. I think it's fine. It kind of flips up a little bit still, but it's okay. And so I think I did this in February. Again, I think I would have gone down a needle size. That means I would have gone down to a 2, which is really small. But it's I love it. I love the fabric. The fabric is just gorgeous. Again, I got this from Color Mart. I knit to a down to my elbow length sleeve. I think I knit a medium, and a small would have been too tight for me. I wanted some ease to it, but because the silk grows, a medium is a little bit too wide, but I'm okay with it. I cannot wear it untucked. I have to tuck it in. But once I do, it looks really nice. I really like it. So it is what it is. Kind of, I love it, but it doesn't come with a few reservations, I guess. It does have its reservations. So I wanted to show you some things that I'm working on right now. So I have my blocking mat here for you, and I wanted to show you some things that I've been working on. I've been working on these great little things called Saturday sleeves, and let's see, who is it by? And it's a really easy pattern. She recommends it for an Aran weight yarn knit on a size 7 needle. This yarn I got from Color Mart. It's 25% wool. I'm sorry, it's 75% wool, 25% Angora. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit so you can see it. The only thing is the yarn breaks kind of easily. I need to weave in the ends on this one. I had it plied by, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I had it plied up by 4 strands to make the yarn that I want. If I would have just knit this single stranded, I would have been breaking all the time. But wound up by 4, it's good. It doesn't really break. I'm really happy with it. And so I'm a teacher, and some weeks I am outside for the better part of a day. And so these are going to come in really handy. I'm knitting my second one up now, and I'll probably be done with it maybe tonight. I just started this the other day. So they're just a nice quick knit, a quick palette cleanser. It's still a little damp. I could feel it. But yeah, that's there. And then this one, I have a little swatchy here. Swatch, let me unpin it. It's also a little bit damp. It is also the same fiber makeup. It's 25% Angora, 75% wool. This color is called Bambi. And I did this swatch to I'm gonna make a cardigan, I think, for my husband, and I wanted to swatch it out. So let's see, show you what that looks like. It's so soft. It was itchy, it was scratchy. This felt a little bit oily when I was knitting with it. And even he commented, he's like, oh, that's kind of, I don't know if I want to wear that, but I said, don't worry, I'm going to give it a good soak, and it's going to come out really nice. And it is. I really like it. And so I held this yarn double. If you know Color Mart yarns, they run a little bit on the thin side. So they'll say, I think they called this a DK weight yarn. I'll double check, but it's not, right? That's not what I know to be DK. So I held it double. I'm gonna go get my yarn cone. I'll be right back. Angora merino, or Angora wool, sorry. And so I held it double, and let's see how many. I get about 18 stitches to the inch on this. So that's like a worsted weight. I didn't knit it too tight. I knit it on size 7 needles. So the fabric it's not loose, but it's not like, you can definitely see, some space in between the stitches. Not terribly, but I really like it. And it smells really, really good. It's so soft. I really love this. I would buy this again in a heartbeat. Just double it up. Just remember that you have to double it up. Let's see. So that's about it. I'm wondering, let me see what I'm looking on my projects. I have so many whips right now. It's a little bit embarrassing. So I'm looking at my whip, seeing what I need to finish. I've started Yana Light by, I think it's by Isabel Kramer. Yes, it's by Isabel Kramer. I love this sweater. The sweater, if you look at it online. Let's see. I just love this. It's so beautiful. such a beautiful sweater, such a beautiful pattern, really great pattern to knit up. I would like to do Yana Light and the Yana sweater. Yana Light I am working on. I started it last year, as I've done with most of my things. And I like the way it's knitting up. I put it aside for a little bit just because the yarn that I'm using is so thin. It's like maybe a fingering weight, a light fingering weight yarn. And it is super fine merino, again from Color Mart. I really love it. It's very, very beautiful. I'm holding it with a mohair, and it's knitting up to probably be like maybe a DK. I'm not making it like super lofty. I'm not doing it on like bigger needles. I'm doing it on small needles. I think I'm doing them on like size 3s. It's turning out really nice though. I've done the back of the sweater, and now I'm doing the front half of the sweater coming down the chest. And so it feels like I'm just doing that forever and ever and ever. So I have that. I have my Little Leaves cardigan by Little French Knits, which I'm happy with. I have to seam that up. It took me forever. There's 5 separate pieces that you have to seam up. I did not, when I bought that pattern, I had no idea. I really didn't. I don't know that if I ever want to seam up a baby sweater that's done in 5 pieces again. I'm doing Nola hand warmers. That's a really beautiful pattern. I'm doing the Lily Tea by, I think it's by Gurovage. I love this tea. If you ever look this up, it's beautiful. And it's actually pretty easy. It's a pretty straightforward pattern. It's a raglan, basically raglan blouse. Here. I really love this. I'm doing this in a navy blue. And let's see, my last whip. Oh, my Saturday sleeves. Yeah, and that's it for right now. So I just wanted to update you on some things that I am doing. A lot of people are doing the ins and outs for 2024. I haven't done that yet. I think everything that I continue to enjoy and like, I'm going to continue to enjoy and like in 2024. I don't have any ins and outs. I do have a goal, and it's to knit more from my queue. So I do have, let's see, I have 22 patterns queued up in my Ravelry queue. And when I start a new knit, it's either one, I'm knitting it for somebody else, and I don't have the pattern in my queue. So I'm like, oh no, I need to knit for this, somebody's having a baby, I'm gonna knit them something. Or, oh, I'd like to make a present for a friend, I'm gonna knit them something. And it's not in my queue, so I get strayed from the queue in that respect. And then sometimes I just randomly decide that I want to knit something for myself, and I see something that I really like, for example, like the Lily Tea. I was like, oh, I really love this. Let's knit it. And then I'll just start picking up the project, start a new whip, swatch it out, and then all of a sudden I have all these things queued and they never, ever, ever get knit. I'm trying to think, when is queued January 2023. I'm trying to go back and see when my oldest queue was. I think it's March 1st, 2020. Oh no, November 6th, 2015. Yeah. And it's still in there. Yep. Pretty sad. So my goal is to knit more from my queue, not just let it sit there, use it more as a guide for what I want to knit. I'm pretty good about knitting from my stash. I'm pretty good about knitting intentionally, like I know what colors I like and I know what colors I'll wear. But other than that, that's all for 2024. So yeah, let me know what you're doing. I'm curious to see, and take care. Happy New Year. Bye-bye.